Damn right. I see. Hey! I see. Like... Well, yeah. Well. Huh? Jeez.
So you have...
You're here, right? Cool.
Listen well. Okay.
So Hyoko's staying here. She only stayed there a few nights, but that doesn't really even feel like a room, but I feel a little conflicted.
Oh my!
Huh? The door? Yeah, Hyoko put the key in her kimono, so I use that to open it. I see. What, did something happen? No, it's just, I'm starting to believe it might be my fault. What does she mean? Ah, there it is.
No!
That's all 5 of them. The moment Hyoko came to this motel, she proceeded to shut herself in this room. She was afraid of the despair disease, so she of course took a view
However,
her failure disease was not the only reason she locked herself in a room. She had another reason. Besides that disease, what other reason would make her lock herself in a room?
perhaps.
This moment. How's your mom? Yesterday I went to go talk to her. Since she had been in her room for some time, I told her it might be good for her to go outside for a bit. She kept the door to the room locked, but by coincidence it was not locked at that time. When I saw it. Hyoko was crying and struggling with her kimono sash. She did not want to smell bad, so she took a shower, but then she could not tie her sash anymore. Mahu is no longer with us, so I believe she was having trouble with it. She didn't leave her room because she couldn't tie her kimono, huh?
You are right.
The others might have thought it was just a silly sash, but it must have been a serious issue for her. Hyoko told me that she learned how to tie a sash from Mahu. That Mahu kindly taught her the basics. That's why she wanted to be able to tie a sash on her own.
Perhaps.
She probably could not forgive herself for not being able to do it, especially since Mahu taught her. I could not really understand her feelings, which is why I said what I did. What did you say?
Hyoko? Stupid! Because... Do you remember the full-length mirror? If you do it while standing in front of a... Also, shutting yourself in your room like this may be bad for your health.
Well, nowadays, that can't be helped. With this freaking corona going on. And that was when she kicked me out. Hold on. Bingo! Okay, I'm back.
It cannot be!
Could it be Hyoko remembered that? Are you saying she went to the music venue to wear her kimono? I couldn't see that happening. Hyoko locked her room and made sure she put the room key inside her kimono. I can't imagine that she was abducted by someone. So that's weird. Hey, did you tell anyone about that before the incident? Or was someone listening in on your conversation? Sonia's account has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Huh? There's a mirror, but it's more musty. There's no way anyone can use this. It doesn't look like she's affected in serious. Every time one of you
However...
No idea why I'm doing this, probably just because I'm level 39. Since I got the silence icon.
Hello there.
Why, hello there,
I see. Hey!
Did you call me? What? What are you gonna...
Huh?
Listen up! Here! Look forward to it, okay?
Hey.
nod to UDG. This one looks like a telephone made of hemp of one of his faces. That's a try. It's an all-purpose telephone. Hold on.
What's this? Too bad! You're so stupid! Shock! Hey, well now then, I can't wait!
I'm definitely going to freaking skip this movie. I hate cheesy powders. Says the guy who watched the freaking scary movie.
One so a lot mon the here even at with and he
We can discuss this thing now, silent. I'm not going to say this. That's why I skipped it. Oh, actually, I don't even have that. That's not interesting. That was honestly the worst movie I've ever seen.
Well... How about it?
You know what, maybe I'm just looking forward to seeing perfect justice prevail. Really?
What do you yearn for?
What do you say? You'll find out soon enough.
See?
Let's go.
I'm gonna do it!
Right, so you're from the children. Hey, right. The elevator almost tantalizingly so. Light poured through from the other side, eroding the boundaries of the darkness, and I walked into that place.
What?
Hi, first thing with all these NPCs. I think we've got killed at the same time.
Hey!
That's not right.
No, no! That's... well now.
No.
Yahoo!
And so the current to the third class trial was about to begin. Ibuki Miyoda, the ultimate musician. She was really loud, but she was the mood maker of our group. When I was with her, all of my pain and suffering just seemed to melt away. Yoko Saunji, the ultimate traditional dancer. Or like the ultimate bitch. Just from looking at her adorable face, you'd never know she was actually selfish and foul-mouthed. There you go. But she was trying to change herself, and she was desperately trying to come to terms with Mark. The person who killed those two is a monk. frickin' dead people's portraits in red. Sex games. Oh, that's what it is.
Now then, let's during the class. If you vote correctly, I'll punish every. Oh well, who cares about?
I don't mind starting the trial, but, you know, because I...
Even if you do...
Or rather,
Aren't
you
you?
were comatose the whole time.
But Nagito's not alone.
You're fine. Your head's empty anyway.
Empty head? Listen up! The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside it, you know?
No.
Anyway, we shouldn't proceed with the trial if those two can't... Since he's the first witness.
Then, let's start with when the hospital team consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Mikan, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other 5 on the motel team were myself.
Spending the night at the hospital was...
I woke up at my cot and Mikan came by to wake me up. We immediately headed over to the hospital, and after I made Mikan rest in the on-call room, and then I saw the when I pressed the button,
After nearly murdered you twice.
a video of someone wearing a hospital gown.
Amazing! That's so...
I tried to stop them. I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the but it was too late. By the time I arrived, I thought I should tell the others right away.
Why the
Because it was close to the music venue. And unlike a hospital, at least, that's what I thought. But the only...
But I remember feeling a little relieved because
We were also looking for Ibuki since she disappeared from our...
after I rested for a bit, I started counting, and then I noticed, coincidentally, I ran into food.
Darius, wait!
Don't say it like that and confuse people.
After I heard from those two that Ibuki disappeared, so I immediately led them...
But the door wouldn't open, since we had no other option. And when that happened, and not just that,
That's when we heard the body
And so,
when we removed the hemp bag.
So that's how the case played out. Well, it's clear what the problem with this case is. Wait, how do I... Sorry, I'm only being impartial. Hajime, if you're the... then you could be lying as...
Lie?
Obviously. So you could make us ignore what might be an inconvenient truth for you.
Do you doubt me?
If you're not lying, I would like you to... Come on, try to... Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
if Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously, because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault. Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously, because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie... No, that's wrong!
I'm not the killer! I mean, there's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie.
Of course you're not.
Huh?
Before the incident, each person only received... Isn't that right?
Yes.
Which means there's... Or... Did... Hold on a sec!
Nagito, what do you...
Well, since we're opening with you, it also...
What warm-up?
Don't get mad.
What a waste of time. Now then,
So this means Ibuki
Yeah, I'm positive.
Then that seals it!
If Ibuki committed suicide, then
A murder coincidence?
Like I said before, the killer murdered Hiyoko, so all we gotta do...
then let's ask Hajime.
I couldn't have been gone for more than...
So they killed Hiyoko and...
That's why the killer stalled for time by making the... The killer blocked the venue door from the inside.
However, that door is the... If they blocked the door from the inside, the killer wouldn't...
Yeah, you're absolutely... Which means, when we broke down the venue...
They were?
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time. And that's you two!
Me too.
What the hell?
The others all have... Chiaki? Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel. And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital...
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi. You know, me too!
Hey! You're kidding, right? Please.
Anyway, if the killer was hiding inside the...
What a wicked way of back...
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they look like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside. No, that's wrong!
Oh god,
There's
the
also a
ambience again.
possibility that the door was locked from the outside.
From the outside?
It was a semi-transparent...
Semi-transparent... I see!
That semi-transparent... Blue?
Yeah. It had a firm based on all that. I didn't know glue. I believe it is not.
That glue was by pouring it in the...
And thanks to that, a glove. But if you just stick them, that doesn't really matter. First of all, it was so.
Are you saying the then I...
Apologize to Miss Sonia!
In a quarrel, both sides.
So, during the 10 minutes...
And they also taped.
Even quick work.
Aww.
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was away from, they must have done it earlier than that.
Makes sense.
But when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there.
And when you went back with everyone else, but it's possible that the body was just revealed. Of course, the body. Here.
That scrap of...
That's right, but.
Oh god.
Part of the wall. In the music venue storage room, there was also a tear along the edge.
Right. See? It fits perfectly.
Oh wait, now's not the best.
I see.
And what's wrong with...
A mere no. But if you guys...
Can't form a wall.
It's all coming together! Got it!
What it would have taken quite a long...
No, the body was all ripped.
What? They...
Yeah, by wrapping the wall... So when I... However, because it...
Well, that's understandable.
So they used...
The baton lighting...
Then...
That's how they hid Yoko's body. And
But the killer made a mistake. And because of that, a scrap...
Killer must have been in a hurry.
But going to the...
The crime itself would be... They just have to peel... Then... Good point. It's about time we shed some...
Are you kidding me?
Hey! Don't...
You're pretty no...
I knew it!
Ibuki's death by hanging, not just that. But Hyoko...
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes.
But why did the killer do all this?
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult.
The reason they kill him.
I see!
the reason the killer imitated 2 of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up...
Then...
A valid lie.
Yeah, it's valid.
If you're going to cry,
I'm not...
I'll let you sob as much as you want.
Oh, I see.
And even big...
Look, Ibuki that means when she was still alive.
What's wrong with...
But it seems that would mean Hyoko was...
How...
Man,
First and foremost, How can a low...
Because she was doing something that's only...
It seems you're one...
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
I agree with that.
Just as that something was blood.
That is not Ibuki's blood. Then it's Hiyoko.
Hyoko's only...
If Ibuki...
It means Ibuki, which means Ibuki was...
Don't underestimate the power of the evil eye!
Does that mean
you have a rebuttal? But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how... You're so frightened you can't even... However, the time... You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet... Oh, impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Allow me to cut through those words!
It's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor...
Don't say such fool...
Yes, I do. You look closer.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's... Ibuki must have already stepped in.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor... Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's...
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it was...
Hyoko's body was probably Actually, the bleeding will stop. Aside from Mikon, none of us were...
Maybe... Eva was right.
That's right!
The time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file, just to keep concrete evidence for us.
Yep. Since we have all this, then it's decided.
It appears that it is fine then, but
Can't you just shut...
Now then.
Wait a sec.
Huh?
Hey, if the victim...
The same as always. Think about it. Unfortunately, why me?
Nagito?
Well, I mean, I understand Hyoko's death. But I'm wondering, for example, it's possible Ibuki...
That's totally impossible!
She was
Double
afflicted
disease.
by the...
But if Ibuki's the killer, after Hajime saw the killer
Yeah,
had
it
to
wouldn't
be
have been that
alive
hard
at that
because of the
time.
global
Then she...
disease.
When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, if she waited until Hajime left, she hanged herself.
And if she was... Her body would have been defenseless in that state.
There's no doubt that someone killed her.
What the...
There's still... If Ibuki did commit... According to that video you saw, then does that mean...
Forrest?
I don't know anything about...
Don't say it all...
But... So... Then our plan is to destroy... Since Hajime has seen the video, but just to be...
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know?
Then... The video...
what time?
I saw it at the hospital, and I saw the body at the music venue a little after.
So we... And since we established that, that means the time that the murders...
Then... Now then, I shall issue my decree.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Connie, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be.
My own cottage.
Crap! We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then...
Crap! We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right? Before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then... Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed!
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the... The motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then... Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed!
We can exclude the sick people.
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
Crap! We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then...
No, that's wrong!
Hold on. In fact,
You...
up until I saw that hanging video, Mika...
Hey!
I asked... Too much info.
Yeah, it's not like that. She just came to...
And we went to the hospital. I get it.
If that's the case,
It's better if we think the killer decided to falsify the murder.
So it's inevitable.
It feels like...
But... faking the time the crime occurred... Was that the only reason the killer...
Are you saying there was...
I feel really bad for confusion. I think the killer had a completely...
I'm Monami.
The reason the killer did an imitation murder is reasonable and impossible.
Huh. Did I confuse you?
Man.
If that's the case, if that happened,
Well, it's against the...
that rule is too hard.
Seriously, just
But I'm thinking about it again.
because they didn't kill 3 people like the...
It's not just that. About the lion that got killed second.
That's the one he...
Even though we're calling it an imitation, but Hiyoko's body was... Maybe they just used a common... Well, that's probably it, but if falsifying the murder sequence, they should have taken steps to
But if we never realized it was a half-assed...
What are you trying to say? Are you saying...
I'm saying...
What?
It's not just the poor imitation.
Strange deep...
Like, for example, why...
So, you're saying the truth?
I had no freaking clue.
However, this is getting quite...
Why did Shoko go to the music venue? There's no way we'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
Or... she was guided by the will of causality.
Why? Did Shoko... go to the music venue? There's no way we'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
Or... she was guided by the will of causality.
Why did Shoko go to the music venue? There's no way we'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will. Why did Shoko go to the music venue? There's no way we'd know.
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
I agree with that. It's just as Sonia said.
So,
If no one called for...
Yoko locked herself in her room. I don't think
There's no way she got...
Kyoko locked the room she was staying in.
If she was forcibly taken from her room,
The killer could have locked her door.
Then they couldn't have hidden her room key that deep in her kimono. Otherwise, there's no point in messing with the... At the time, you were the one who actually took out the key.
I won't lose. Are you saying this could be my first and last highlight? No! Shut up! Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room and forcibly abducted her! The girl is so small and weak-looking. And that's why the killer targeted her!
But Hiyoko's room was locked. The key was deep inside her kimono, remember? It's more likely that Hiyoko locked the door herself.
The killer was the one who locked the door! So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later!
There's no reason for the killer to put the key in Hiyoko's kimono. The killer probably didn't realize—
Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko's body! Her kimono was all messed up! There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She thought that that's the proof she was abducted, right? My gut is totally right after all! Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko's body! Her kimono was all messed up! There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer!
Allow me to cut through those words! The reason Hiyoko's kimono was messed up—
Wear her kimono?
Yeah, it's also the reason why she does—
Hiyoko seemed to be real. I believe that was... That is why I told her that there was a full-length mirror at the...
Then, the reason...
Yeah, she went to the venue on her own.
I get it. I lost. Boil me, burn me.
Hajime, now's your chance. Make her admit defeat. Or better...
Then, the killer probably couldn't have assumed that...
Though that may not apply to Sonia, since she...
Though I knew she would go there, there is no way I could have predicted...
Don't go doubting Miss Sonia, you cretin! I'll put you and your hamsters 6 feet up.
Kazuichi, it seems you... Do you want me to incinerate your clothes? Perhaps I could do that while you're wearing them.
Gundam, please stop!
Huh? What do you mean for my...
Of course. I've already overlooked no less...
Even if the killer couldn't predict it, why did...
The only thing I can think of is... When she went to the venue by herself...
She was killed, so...
It probably happened. The killer most likely had already...
Killed.
Because the killer used that coincidence for...
That's the reason they imitated the movie to falsify...
Which means that lowdowns...
Then what was the killer actually... They've been cunning this far. There's no... Do you...
Damn, we don't...
Hey, Nagito.
Hey, how long... Oh, am I allowed to... Oh, I'm so happy I'm getting...
So what do you...
I was thinking about it while I had my mouth shut. Ibuki definitely...
Huh?
I thought there might be a possibility that she faked... But now I remember. So if she faked her death and walked around, there'd be bloody footprints left. So that's why I think there's no way she faked...
You know, we already finished talking about...
That's annoying. I guess I should just awkwardly laugh about it then. Are you freaking kidding?
That's strange.
This is strange.
If Ibuki used the stepladder to hang herself... Huh? Yeah, that step...
Do you notice such a...
But didn't you say you saw that? Then I think unless there was some.
I see. So there was some kind of...
But that's something only Hajime would know.
Hajime, as long as I leave this to you.
Yeah, I'll definitely...
Damn it!
That's right, I remember now.
Can you
What's strange is that stepladder. It's true that the steps of that stepladder... There was a bloodstain. However, there weren't any bloodstains on the stepladder in the video.
That is true. If the video showed the moment of...
Even so, the fact is that the stepladder...
There's no way the video was...
It's possible those two...
Wait,
Are you saying there were...
But where would you find an...
Then one of the stepladders was...
You're suggesting... That's amazing, Chiaki!
God, I was hoping I'd be able to go in blind, but I'm gonna have to look this up.